Alright, step one on the big Bowie knife. Now, I cannot call it a Natchez Bowie. I can't call it that. Because I'm not going to copy that knife per se. Can't do that. Or you're not supposed to do that. So I have made something that looks similar, modified it. This was a almost copy knockoff. I have modified this one a little bit to look very similar. And because they tried to copy it down to the letter with this one. This is a cheapo. But it'll make a good pattern after I ground it, took some of the sweep out of it, modified it up here a little bit. Now steel. It's 3/16 high carbon steel. The other one calls for 8mm, which I think is too big. This is plenty big. Maybe even too big, but it'll work. Now the owner wants it a little bit bigger than the dimensions on the other one. So he wants the biggest, baddest one around, so that's what he's going to get. Alright, blade was 11.5 inches on the original, about what this one is. Handle was 5.5 inches. So I've got a little mark here at 6 inches for the handle. It's a little bit bigger. And I'll probably have to trim just a tad of that off. You don't need a handle much bigger than that. That's plenty big. So the handle will be right there. And the finger guard, of course, will be right there. This is going to be the handle. It'll actually turn that way. Crown, stag, elk. I'll have to cut this off here, and then we'll get the length in a minute. Before we do anything else to the handle section, we'll get that taken care of. Okay, so let's get this here. We want to go 1 inch bigger blade length than the original. It's going to be a big knife, y'all. I mean a big old honker. And we have some room here in the ricasso because he wants the finger choil to be able to get your finger in there. And once it's all cut out and the handle is shaped, I can do that. And we just mark it here. Mark it there. And let's see. Just for reference, we'll move it back here. And we'll put our finger choil right in there somewhere. And like I said, the handle section will be depending on how wide this is. This is the straightest piece of this I have. It's got to be straight because it'll have to be cut in half to go on either side. Then we can trace this out because I've got to mill out the finger guard depending on wherever this comes out. And that will be brass. It's over there in the box. Yeah, stump in the box. There we go. And that's still going to be a big knife. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grind all this out. We'll take it over to the saw. Just make us a cross cut right there. Especially as thick as this is, it'll be really hard on the saw blade to try to do that curve, so I'll just grind it. Now we head over to the bandsaw, do that, and I'll show you the next step here in a little bit. Alright, there's the profile ground on that end. That's very, very, very hot. So we're going to let it sit right there and cool a little bit. Then we'll go over and start working on the handle section. Alright, let's cut this handle over here at the bandsaw with the metal cutting blade. Well, this stuff is very, very, very hard. We'll cut it off, and then we have to cut this tine off and the broken tine. So I've got a little bit longer than what I need, so I can trim it back. So let's see how good this blade works on bone or antler. Cuts it like butter. Okay, there's our handle. Now this will have to be ground smooth and all that. A little bit long because I'll have to trim it back to make it square on the blade. Now we got to split it in half. I think we should go here. You know what, let me get a pencil and put a little reference mark or two on there. Alright, we want it pretty much center. Close as we can get. And once it's split, I'll grind both sides down flat. It looks like a big handle, which it is, but once it's split and ground down, round it off up here, it'll be just about right. The man wants bigger and cooler than anybody else's, and this was gonna do it right here, I think. Okay, that gives me some lines. Oh, get me a push stick. Hang on, I'll be right back. So when I get to the end, I don't want my fingers all that close to that. My luck ain't all that good. All right, here we go. Just like that. Now that you have to have a pretty steady hand. That don't matter. Close enough. Because had I messed this up, I wasted a very, very nice piece of stag. Now we go over to the 4x36. Make it flat on both sides. With just a tad thicker on one side than the other. We'll try to even that out just a little bit. And go on to the next step. It's gonna be a good one, Tater. I'll show you just a little bit of this. This is an 80 grit belt on the Harbor Freight 4x36. And this one runs a little bit slower, which is a good thing and a bad thing, but it works just fine for this. Watch your volume. Now let me say something I have found, and I'm not a teacher, but I have found, I've seen people put a lot of pressure on them and press and press and press, and you bog the machine down. Let the belt do the job. Take some time, but just let it go. Alright, got it flattened out. I like to put it on the granite plate. And this is not a machinist granite plate. Perfectly 100% accurate, but it don't have to be. It's flat. And just push it around, make sure it doesn't knock back and forth. That's good. It's flat. Now some of this will get ground off too. So let's do the other side the exact same way. All right, we're good here. Now put them back together and we can see where we got to round and grind. Go over to the 2x42 and do that over there. Now, I'm not going to show that because all it is just round it off. And the very final, we'll do the final grinding on it. But for right now, we need to knock these edges off here. Alright, got it laid out on here. That's why I left it long, so we could trim it off. Cut it off square here. That is room for our finger guard there, hand guard, whatever you want to call it. Actually goes up a little bit more. I'll get this one squared right. I'll attach it to this, even them both up. Then we'll have to cut some metal off of here. It's going to be challenging, a little bit tricky to get the blade guard slid down over there, but we'll get it done. Alright, last thing I want to do for today, getting late in the day, the cold front has moved through and it's getting cold. And this will be the end of this video. Try to keep it from being so long. We got our handle trimmed down one side. I'm going to mark it right there, because our guard's going to slide up against there. did my square go? Not the one I was looking for, but it'll work. Then we're going to square up, make us a straight line. I'm using the fine liner because the fat marker is too easy to get it off in either direction. I could use Dykem and a scrab, but I already got this out, so. Okay, I'm going to cut here, here, and cut that off. Then we'll build our finger guard, slide down on there. And then when we clean it up in the final, we'll lose just a tad of that, maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, I'll see. Yeah, I didn't have it down there far enough. We'll do something. Make it match up and still look good. The main thing is the shoulders here have to be right. Then we can always adjust this in the metal, I think. Alright, that'll do it for today. I'll cut this tomorrow. And that is part 1 of the Big Bowie build. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support. And I'll be back with part 2 in a couple days.